All right. So I have my sweatshirt on because it's chilly out. But I'm going to take it off because we're going to get meant here in Sound Salutations. And it was high intensity interval training class. I just needed like a pump you up kind of class. And I was thinking as I was going through it, like I could use this in my yoga flow. So I'm going to incorporate just a few little low impact but high intensity kind of movements today. But that's not to scare anyone. You don't need to sign off. That's to say that, as always, yoga is about connection and noticing what things feel like when they land in your body. And if something doesn't feel right, you don't have to do it. If it feels really good, you can do it more and more and more. But just open your mind to the possibilities that this class may offer you in terms of waking up some of the energy centers that have been dormant for a little bit, some of the energy that's stuck perhaps in the hips, maybe in the heart as we get the blood pumping a little bit, and just have some fun with me today. Have some fun with us today. I'm planning on having fun with you. Paula brought us to the beach. Can you guys see Paula? She's at the beach over there. So we're going to begin on our backs. So go ahead and come on down to your back. I'm going to take off my sweatshirt because I know my potential for getting very warm. Come onto your back. Before you find any shape that's settling, just bring your knees towards your chest. Maybe put your hands on the knees and start to stir the hips up a little bit. Maybe open and close the hips. Rocking a little bit side to side. And then if it's comfortable for you to do so, bring the soles of the feet together, bring the edges down to the earth with the knees open. Start to rub the hands together, right? There is a little chill in the air this morning. It's kind of lovely. And just as you rub the hands together, notice where in the body you feel something that needs healing. And then just take the hands and place them right on top of that part of the body. Inviting your own healing energy to penetrate through the skin and the muscle tissue. Letting the weight of the hand be heavy so that your body can truly feel that loving response. And if this part of the body is healing because of an injury, just say some kind healing words to accompany the pressure. I am healing. I am healing. Maybe this part of the body is healing from some emotional wounds. If you've battered this part of the body a little bit through any lifestyle choices or through any self-judgment or self-shaming. Return to the ways of self-compassion so that you know that you're taking care of your body. Your body hears and feels your presence, your loving awareness. And throughout our practice today, if you find that we're challenging your body in ways that it has not been challenged in a while, be patient. Trust that the body's intuition will guide you. Try to soften the body a little bit more down toward the earth, through the jaw, the shoulders, the ribs. And feel the way the breath comes in and out of the body. Take time to slow the breath down just a little bit. Fully inhaling and fully exhaling. Where do you feel the breath most present within the body? Where can you really feel your aliveness this morning? And try to stay present inside the body today rather than letting the attention float up into the thoughts and the mind, which can very easily hijack your attention, robbing you of the joy of the presence. Sometimes set your intention for the practice if you haven't already. Maybe have that intention be inspired by self-compassion today, open-mindedness, being present for yourself. Take a big breath in. Let a breath go. Very nice. Take your hands and gently guide them to the edges of the thighs. Close those knees. Bring them back into your chest and start to rock and roll a little bit, really exaggerating the movement. And start to rock and roll a little bit, really exaggerating the movement. Forward side, softening into all the muscles of the back, all the edges of the spine. And then come right back onto your back with the head. And as like a little crunch, and exhale, come on back down. We're going to do that twice more. Inhale, little crunch. Exhale, lower down. Keep the elbows nice and wide. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, extend. Crunch twist. Inhale. Same side, 2 more. Inhale, right elbow to left knee. And exhale. Right elbow to left knee. And exhale. We're going to switch legs. So bring the right knee in, left leg long. Inhale, left elbow to right knee. And back down. Inhale, crunch. Exhale, down. Nice and slowly, really isolating the obliques here. Inhale up. Exhale, down. Nice. Draw both knees in. Open the knees nice and wide and let those legs drift off to the right for a little spinal twist. Big breath in. Full breath out. One more inhale. And let the breath go. Yeah, I'm going to make sure everyone's muted here. I hear some beautiful breathing. I love it. Draw the knees back up through center and let them drift off to the left side. Use the strong core to bring them over to the other side. Maybe tethering the legs down with the hand. Big breath in. Let the full breath go. Beautiful. Big breath in. Full breath out. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. Nice. Slowly start to make your way back up, bringing the knees back into the chest. And this time we're going to rock and roll up to a seated position. Extend your legs out in front of you. We're going to take a big breath in, Dandasana. So if you need to move a little bit of the flesh away so the sit bones fully root down and connect, you know that you can always bend the knees so you have some softness in the hamstrings. Big breath in, open and extend through the heart. And as you exhale, round the spine and just reach the fingers toward the toes. You don't have to fully hinge at the hips unless you want to ignite the hamstrings, but just round through the spine. Inhale, open up, flourish through the heart. And exhale, round the spine, tucking the navel in. 2 more. Inhale, lift up, open up. Exhale, tuck. Last one, big breath in. And full breath out. Nice. On the next breath, rise up to center, cross the ankles, roll right over to table position. From your table position, we're going to extend the right arm forward, left leg back, bend the left knee, and maybe take a bind, reaching that right arm back behind you. Seeing if you can bind on the left ankle, knowing that you can always strap use a strap or a t-shirt or towel or something. Press the foot into the hand and try to open up a little bit more through the chest cavity. Try to press a little bit away from the earth so you're not sinking into the shoulders. One more big breath. And release. Bring hand and knee back down to the earth. Take that balancing table on the other side. Extend the left arm, right leg. Reach, reach, reach. And then bend the right knee. Reach around with the left hand. Foot in hand or ankle in hand. Kicking foot. Opening heart. Lifting the heel. Take one more breath. And release. Go ahead and drop the hips back to the heels, finding a child's pose. Remembering that this shape is always there for you, welcoming you back into your grounding, into a little bit of recentering. Placing your forehead all the way down onto the earth or using a block to help make that connection. Big breath in, full breath out. Beautiful. From here, we're going to come into downward facing dog. So come into table position. Go ahead and flex the feet and lift the hips. Just shift the weight a little bit from side to side. Pedal the heels down toward the earth. Pay attention to the rooting through the pads of the fingers and the palms. And then feel yourself sliding the shoulders back to the spine. Notice how the breath feels dancing in and out of the rib cage. Big breath in and full breath out. On the inhale, float forward into a high plank. Feeling your presence here in plank with the weight and effort really distributed across the length of the body, all the way back into the heels, all the way up to the crown of the head, pressing the earth away, defying gravity here. Big breath in. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Inhale forward, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Make sure the glutes are fired up here. Make sure the upper thighs are inwardly rotating, contracted. Just keep rocking back and forth. Inhaling forward into your high plank, keeping the belly nice and engaged. Exhale back to downward facing dog. We'll do this one more time. Inhale forward, nice high plank, strong plank. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Beautiful. On the next inhale, hover forward and then drop the knees, untuck the toes, lower down chaturanga. As you inhale, press right back up. What? Exhale, lower down chaturanga. Exhale, lower down chaturanga. Just noting the position of the elbows, drawing them in toward the ribs. Press back up. Lower down again. Back up. This is the last one, I promise. And then as you lower down, untuck the toes if they're still tucked, and then spread those arms nice and wide. Come to your spider fingers. Inhale, peel the heart up. Feel the shoulders sink down the back. And as you exhale, dip the right shoulder down to the earth. Gaze over the left shoulder. Inhale, peel that back up, back to like a little modified cobra on spider fingers. Exhale, dip the left shoulder down. Inhale, back up. Exhale, dip the right shoulder down. Back up. And the left shoulder down. Yes. Come on back up here. Bring your hands right back to the tops of the ribs. Root the palms, tuck those elbows in toward the body, and press back up to downward facing dog. Breathe in. Breathe out. Big inhale. And let it go. On the next inhale, right heel goes high to the sky. This is your three-legged dog. Long energy, feeling a cascade from the down across the back to the crown of the head. One more big breath in. And as you exhale, bring the right knee toward the right elbow, hovering in a little tap, like a cheetah, but with a side tap. Inhale, right leg back up. Exhale, right knee to right elbow. You can always modify by dropping the left knee. Last one, big breath in. And then step the right foot outside of the right knee, coming into a lizard lunge. You can really exaggerate this lizard by stepping the foot pretty wide and just maybe sink into this a little bit. Again, drop the left knee. You can even come down to your left forearm if it's too much in that left wrist. You can use the forearm on a block also. Just giving us a chance to open up our hips a little bit here. Two more breaths. And I'm adding some dynamic movement here, so feel free to play around with that. All right, if you're down on your forearm, come back to your palm. Right palm back to the earth. Back up to your three-legged dog. Bend the right knee and make really big circles into that right side hip. Maybe shake or kick. And then release that leg back to downward facing dog. Inhale forward into a nice high plank with the knees up or down, lower down to your low plank, coming down to the earth. Inhale, open up into your cobra pose with the elbows bent, or straighten the arms if the back's ready. Back to downward facing dog. Notice your breath. Notice the neck and the shoulders and any tension that's present. Try to soften. On the inhale, left heel to the sky. Three-legged dog. Connecting with that long line of energy again. Imagine there's an ice cube that you put on that left heel, and if you slide it down, just melts all along and it ends up dripping off the crown of the head. I just thought of like an ice luge. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, left knee to left elbow, hover forward. Inhale, back up, three-legged dog. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Come on back up. And left knee, left elbow. Step the left foot outside of the left pinky. Modifying as needed, dropping the knee if you want. And just take some little micro movements into your wide lizard here. Doing what feels good. Don't worry about what it looks like. Go for the felt senses. Two more breaths. Back to your palms, back up to a three-legged dog, left leg high, and bend the knee, circle out, kick, shake, whatever you need here on this side. Then back to downward facing dog. Inhale forward, high plank. Nice strong arms, strong gaze, strong core, lowering down. Inhale, rise up, spread through the heart space. Back to downward facing dog. Nice. Breathe in and breathe out. Look to the front of the mat. Take a little hop and land those feet outside of the pinkies, coming into Malasana. All right, we've done this before, some little yoga burpees. All right, we're going to try them again and just take them at your own pace. All right, so once we hop forward, I'm going to deconstruct it for you. You're going to press into the feet. Now, when you lift yourself, really drive into the heels and use your glutes and your hip muscles As you rise, not your thighs. Your thighs are going to put too much stress on your knees. So as you really dig into the heels, feel the glutes fired up, rise all the way up. As you exhale, same thing. Sit back nice and low, come back into Malasana, hands back to the earth, and hop back into a chaturanga, all right? Or step back into a high plank, lower down, inhale, lift up. I'm taking cobra today rather than up dog, but feel free to take upward facing dog. Back to downward facing dog, right? We have 4 more of those. So look forward, take a gentle hop, landing the feet outside of the pinkies. Inhale, press into the heels, fire up the glutes. Exhale, gently lower back down into your Malasana. Hands to the earth, step back to plank or hop back to chaturanga. Lower down. Inhale, open up. Back to downward facing dog. Beautiful. Catch your breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. Look forward. Hop, landing softly. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, lower back down. Hands to the earth. Step or hop. Now you may want to start playing around with a crow pose. If anyone's interested, feel free to crow it. Look forward. Rise up, dig into those heels. You should feel the gluteus minimus and maximus burning. We're going to do one more. You got this. Keep breathing. Keep smiling. Yes. Beautiful. Take your flow. Halfway lift, flat back. Plant your hands. Step the left foot back, warrior 1 footing. So step it back, new lane of traffic, little angle into the foot, and rise up, warrior 1. Take a big breath in, sink a little deeper. Here, shift into the right foot and lift left heel up to the sky. So again, really igniting into the gluteus muscles that are supporting your hip, supporting the top of the thigh. Really lift, 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 heel to the sky. Foot is flexed. The arms can be outstretched or hands to the heart or nice and wide in airplane arms, and helps you feel balanced. Big breath in, full breath out. On the next breath, we're going to find warrior 2. So start to open up that left hip and land with a soft foot parallel to the back edge of the mat. Nice deep bend in that front thigh. Nice tall spine. Shoulders stacked over ribs, over hips. Arms extended. Shoulders soft. Big breath in. Full breath out. One more breath. Beautiful. Look at your right toes. Cartwheel the hands to frame the right foot, coming into standing split. So the left leg reaches high to the sky with the heel up, toes down. Bound around the standing ankle. You can also, for a little bit more cardio this morning, root your palms down, scoot back, and start to practice little kicks. Kicking up, left leg leading, to get the shoulders stacked over the wrists, or keep the shoulders stacked over the wrists, hips over shoulders. Right? Stand prep. Good way to get the heart rate going. 2 more breaths wherever you are. Beautiful. And then bring the left foot down to meet the right, forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, melt back down. Halfway lift, flat back. And hands to the earth, right foot steps back, warrior 1. Root down through the feet. Rise up through the spine. Adjusting the hips. Use those hands to manipulate the body however you need. Can you sink a little deeper into that front thigh? Can you feel that energetic pulling back of the left hip crease, pulling forward of the right hip crease? Feet evenly, one more breath. And then start to shift into the left foot. Come into warrior three. Now, I have very tender hamstring on my left side, so it always feels a little bit better for me to micro bend into that left knee to support this. Do what you need to do. Listen to your body, make little tweaks and adjustments accordingly. You're the only one with a pipeline to that wisdom. Nobody else knows. One more big breath. And then start to externally rotate that right hip, landing in your warrior two. Yes. Beautiful, nice wide across the collarbones. A little deeper. One more big breath. Look at the left toes, cartwheel the hands down to frame the foot, shift into it, standing split. Again, the option to take your little kicks here, right? If you're working on your handstand practice, it's a good way to feel the shift of energy into the hands, right? Really good cardio. So you can hear me hyperventilating. Softly kicking up, softly shifting. 2 more breaths. Yeah, I love it. And then bring the right foot down to meet the left, forward fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, flat back. And plant the hands, hop back, step back, take your flow. Maybe take a crow to flow. If you want to crow it, bend the elbows, offer a little shelf with your triceps. Look and lean forward, round through the upper back as you offer an arm balance, bringing the heels toward your hips. And then if you want to practice kicking back from there, you just do it. Just make sure you land with your elbows bent. Arriving back at downward facing dog. Time for me to sip some water. I'm checking on you guys up here. Yes. Breathe. Notice the body. Notice the breath. Notice where your attention is. Are you here? Are you feeling embodied and connected to exactly where you are right here, right now? Hopefully you're smiling. And you don't just have to keep that smile on your face. You can start to invite the energy of that smile to travel into your whole body. Feel your whole body smiling. When we make that little neural shift, we can't be stressed, we can't be angry, we can't be filled with grudges. We are, for that moment, filled with joy. Remember that sometimes, you've heard me say this a million times, sometimes the joy is the reason for the smile, but sometimes smile is the reason for the joy, so we can create the joy by smiling. So feel your whole body smiling right here. Big breath in. Full breath out. Nice. All right, we're going to do a little bit more with those lizard lunges. The way this is going to work is we're going to inhale, right leg high. Exhale, right foot outside of the right pinky. Do a little chaturanga dip down. Press it back up. Back to downward facing dog. And then left side. Left foot forward. Little chaturanga dip. Come back up. Back to downward facing dog, okay? Now, if you want to up the challenge, skip the downward facing dogs and do this all from plank. So there's always a way to amplify the practice. There's always a way to modify too. Modify, you'd be on your knees, step forward, dip down, come back up, tabletop. Left foot forward, dip down, come back up, tabletop, okay? So amplify would be do it all from plank. Somewhere in the middle would be come back to downward facing dog. And modifying would be do from the knees, all right? Are you guys ready? You're probably already doing it. Keep going. I'm not going to pace you because everyone's doing something different. And don't feel like you need to rush. The slower you do it, the more you feel it. And the more you can breathe into it. And you're probably all anxious right now because you're like, well, she didn't say how many we're doing. We're going to do it for one more minute. I'll keep time. You just have fun and smile. You know that child's pose is always there for you. When you've had enough, it's not quitting. It's just taking a break. Being respectful of your body, but make sure that you're listening to your body, not your ego, or not thoughts that are limiting you. There's a difference. At halfway there, you got this. Five more seconds. All right. Beautiful. From downward facing dog, let's walk our hands back to our feet. You guys are awesome. Slide your hands underneath your feet, taking a gorilla pose. Bend the knees as much as you need to find that connection. And then start to straighten the legs a little bit. Pull the hands, stretching all the ligaments across the back of the wrist. Let the head hang heavy. Feel the beads of sweat dripping onto your mat. What a gift it is to perspire. Release. Detox a little bit. One more breath. Really feel the expansion across the upper back. And then very slowly start to roll up. Up, 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 up. Reach the arms up. Bring them right to your heart. I'm going to walk to the middle of the mat here. Taking a moment. Feel the body breathing. All right, we're going to take a dancer pose here. So start to shift the weight into the left foot and bring your right knee toward your, bend your right knee, bring your right heel towards your right glute. And your right hand's going to come ankle. All right, so firmly establishing that connection. And if the knee is splaying outward, try to draw it inward, inwardly rotating through the hip. Press the foot into the hand as you feel that expansion across the front hip flexor. Maybe start to reach the left hand forward. Gaze right across the tip of the thumb. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more breath. Beautiful. From here, start to bend into that left knee and try to bring your left hand down toward the earth. Bend the left knee as much as you need to. And then release the bind and cross the right ankle over toward the left side. And now your left hand on the right ankle, like we did in our table position at the beginning. Taking a reverse dancer, still tuck that knee into the midline and slowly try to rise up, taking your reverse dancer. That left glute muscle really activate here. So press into the heel, breathe into it. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. And release the bind. Bring the knee up to your chest. And release it down. All right, give it a little shake. If you're feeling really filled with heat, as you exhale, do a little Satali breath where you kind of make a little circle with your mouth and exhale through through that circle. All right, come back into your mountain. Take it on the other side. So shift the weight steadily, sturdy into that right leg. Bend the left knee, heel to the bum, left hand and left ankle. You can flex the foot to protect the joints if that feels better to you. Kick the foot into the hand, feel expansion across your hip flexor, your pelvis, your abs, your rib cage, and then extend the right arm, gazing right across the tip of the right thumb. Nice long, steady breaths. One more breath. Start to bend the right knee as you reach the hand. Just a balance challenge here. Bring the right hand down toward the earth. Blocks work really well here too. And then release the bind, bringing the left hand to the earth and the left foot across to the right bum, where you now take the right hand onto the left ankle, kicking foot into hand, and then press back in to fire up. Right there is where you're firing up the right glute med. Kick foot into hand and breathe. One more breath. You guys are great. And release, knee up to chest. And send it back down. Nice. Whew. All right, so now that we gave some attention to those little glute muscles, we're going to come on down and do something that really fires them up. So take a big breath in. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. On your right forearm with the elbow under the shoulder. Knees are bent, and they don't have to necessarily create a right angle with your body. You can make a wider angle if you want, but you're resting right on that right hip. You're going to keep your the inner edges of the feet glued together, but your knees are going to clamshell a little bit. And the way this is going to work is, again, we can amplify, we can modify. So to amplify the practice, what we're doing is really isolating the glute med here. Is you're going to lift the hip, open the knee, close the knee, lower the hip. Lift the hip, open the knee, close the knee, lower the hip. That would be the most amplified version of this. A more modified version, a lower intensity version, would just be the clamshell, all right? And if this starts to pose any problems into your shoulders and your hips, you can do this while laying down, all right? And if you have a resistance band, it's really nice to wrap it around. That really helps if you have any hamstring issues or if you have any outer hip issues. This really helps to support strengthening those areas, all right? So we're going to do 10 of them. Maybe you've already started, so maybe you're going to do 15. So we're going to inhale, lift, exhale, down. Go nice and slow. That's 3. Halfway there. Three more. You got this. 2 more. Last one. And then we're going to come up and hold for 5, 4. Keep pressing away from the earth. 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Come on down. Come on down. Come on down. Come back to your forearms, tucking your hands underneath your body, and just pedal out a little bit, or shake the hips from side to side, open and close, whatever feels good to you here. And then we'll take that on the other side. So roll right over to your left hip. Your forearm comes down, and your forearm is parallel to the short edge of the mat. Shoulder stacked over the elbow. The knees, again, they could be at a right angle. Makes it a little bit more intense if they're at a right angle, or you can open up the angle just a little bit. And when you're ready, Edge of the feet together. Inhale, lift the hips, open the knees, close, come back down. Inhale, exhale. Modifying as needed. Halfway there. Keep breathing. You guys are doing great. 2 more. Listen to your body. Nice. All right, so press back up. Press those hips up and hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. Come on back down. We're going to actually roll right over. We got one more thing to do before we do other things. One more hit thing to do before we do other things. All right, so this one, you're going to bring your hands and come on down to your forearms, but make your forearms parallel. They're parallel to each other and parallel to the top of the mat. Just feel how that feels. Kind of like a Sphinx pose. Press down through the hip bones, through the pubis, draw the heart forward, soften the shoulders. Just take a moment to feel how this feels. Just giving a little rest before we intensify it once again. If you've never taken a HIIT class, there are different formulas. Sometimes it's 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. Sometimes it's 45 seconds on, 15 seconds of rest. Sometimes it's a minute on with a 10 or 15 second rest between sets. We can do whatever we want. All right. So from here, we're going to come into a forearm plank, but our arms, instead of being like this, parallel to the long edges of the mat, they're going to be parallel to the short edges of the mat. All right. And we're just going to do some rotating side planks. So bring the soles of the feet, or the balls of the feet. What do you call those? The toe mounds together. Try to be nice and flat across the back and rotate over to the left side. Lift the right arm. And as you exhale, right forearm down, roll over to the left side. Nice. Go nice and slowly. Back to center. Inhale back to the, open to the right. Exhale back to center. Inhale, open to the left. And we're looking for fatigue here. We're not looking for pain in any of the joints. So if you're confronting pain, stop immediately. If you're confronting challenge, push yourself and do 2 more. If you're not tired at all, just keep on keeping on. We'll stop in about 30 seconds for those who want to do something different. Smile. Remember, your whole body is smiling. Doing something different today. Inviting a little energetic awakening. 1 more on each side. Nice. And then come right on down to your belly. Beautiful. Open those arms up to a T. Bring one cheek down. It's a beautiful gift that we can feel ourselves breathing. Feel the rhythm of your heart. We're going to take that deep shoulder stretch and spinal twist here. So start walking your left hand closer to your breast. Roll over to your right shoulder, onto your right, up your left leg, up, knee up, foot down. You can open up that left side hip as much as you want to feel a nice twist and stretch through the lower back. Also feeling a nice opening into the right shoulder. We do this quite a bit, I'd say, in our classes. And so the more you do it, the more pliable those connective tissues around the right shoulder joint become.
So maybe you can go further and further each time. One more breath. Start to roll back onto your belly. Extend the left arm out to the side. Walk the right arm in. Roll over to your left side. Flip that right leg if you need a little bit more oomph. And breathe. Notice where you feel it. Remember to smile. Nice. Come on right back. And then we're going to roll onto our backs from here. Happy laughing baby is a nice way to offer. We'll do one last little round of some abs before we come into our final rest of Shavasana, where you truly get to sink into that smile. All right, so shins parallel, knees lifted, hands behind the head, elbows wide. Lift up and go down. Inhale, lift up and go down. One more. Inhale, lift and go down. This time, lift, stay lifted, extend the right leg, and just little taps. Right elbow to right knee as you stay lifted. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Squeeze it on one, right away to the other side. Make sure you're breathing. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Really isolating. 4, 3, 2, 1. And relax down. Hug your knees in. Wrap your arms around. Give yourself a really strong, loving embrace here. You stuck with it. You tried something different. You sweat a little bit. Hopefully you smiled, had some fun. Give thanks to your body. And then relax. Well-earned rest. Although you don't ever have to earn rest, you are always worthy of rest when you need it. But in this particular instance, it's very well-earned. You guys worked hard today. So after you do a class like that, there's still, and just to make sure each and every part relax, can soften, particularly around the hips, the glutes. Take a big breath in. Let it all go. New moment.
A reading from Victoria Erickson. I just wanted to speak from experience that you should do the absolutely insane, crazy thing. The thing that pulls you in the night, defying sense and logic and plans. Because I decided to take that route and I struggled. But I remained tied to the words like a cord that couldn't break because I believed that something that felt so impossibly, uncomfortably strong just couldn't be wrong. You need to trust your body. It already knows the way. Slowly start to invite some movement, energy, and awareness back into your body through breath and through movement. Taking a big stretch, rolling onto one side, and eventually greeting the world back into a comfortable seated position. Pressing the hands together at the palms in front of the heart, where it all began. Thank you so much for practicing with us today. The love and the light and the energy in me truly appreciates and values and celebrates the love and the light and the energy that's so strong in each of you. Namaste. So thank you again. Check out my website, eatyogadrink.com, for the new Will Yoga for Booze shirts. I just ordered them yesterday. They'll be here next week. And keep an eye on the website and Instagram and Facebook for all the cool Halloween-themed classes that are coming up in October. And if you're interested in joining the mindfulness series for Awakening to the Fullness of Life, you have 2.5